Okay.
All right. I want to thank everybody who's watching, and I want to welcome you to the ninth installment of the Untitled Podcast. Today, we got a very special guest. You might recognize him. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It is Uncle Rom, but more about Uncle Rom, the author himself, public speaker, host of the YouTube series Deep Thought, Money Matters, and Hello Ladies, president, founder, and CEO of LOFA. That's an acronym. If you know, you know. I'm not, if I got to explain it to you, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you know, you know. The DC legend himself, the one and only Uncle Rom Wills, no relation. Thank you for stopping by, sir.
Hey, it's an honor to stop by. It is an honor to come through and to be on here and to really talk with you for this period of time.
Blessings. So, Nice Guys and Players.
Yes.
For those that don't know, that's your best-selling book. What's the gist of that book for those that need to be in the know?
Well, Nice Guys and Players is talking about becoming a man women want. Women at a basic level, women want a combination of both. They want a man who is both that player, that exciting person, that man who can knock it out the box, get them smiling, all of that. But then they also want that guy who can do the nice things. In fact, when I first started selling the book years ago, decades ago, that's how I would sell it to women, and they understood it right away. In fact, I've had some women say it was for them, but it's really for men. It was really for men. It's interesting how I wrote it, because at first in the 1990s, I was writing stuff for women, but men were coming up to me and said, well, we need something. I didn't believe it at first because I knew a bunch of players, but they were like, nah, we need something. So I wrote something for men, and it just took off. It really just took off.
So that's an understatement too. I remember one of your videos you did say that well, I don't know if you said it, but it's almost like a curse. So you say a lot of guys would look at the guy and they'll see him getting a bunch of women. They'll say, oh, he must get everything he wants. And I forgot which movie it was. There was a curse. It's like, you can have everything you want except the things you actually want. So you have this guy. So it's kind of like this guy's getting all the girls he wants except the ones that he really wanted. For whatever reason, he was too much maybe on that player thing where it might have actually scared some women away. So that's where I was like, man, it was really mind blowing for me.
Well, what's interesting with that, because when I first started selling it, those were the guys who were buying it. The guys who I would look at them and be like, you don't need this book. And my co-parent would be selling it with me, and she would say, he's going to get it. Now he ain't going to get it. And the nice guy types, they would give me it. That was a hard sell right there. That was a hard sell. The player types, they just see the book and just give me some money. In fact, one player, may he rest in peace, Alan Roger Curry,
rest in peace.
And he had reached out to me to help him with his book. And I didn't realize the nature of his book, Mode 1, when he first contacted me. In fact, I thought he was younger than me, but he was respectful. But he had said several times that's why he bought the book. He could get everybody except the woman that he. So it was an interesting thing. So for the nice guys, it was just getting women, period. For the players, it's getting the one that they wanted. Because I don't care who you are, there's always going to be some woman that's going to reject you. I don't care who. It don't matter. Somebody ain't going to like you. I don't care how cute you are, how fine, how muscular, how tall. Somebody ain't going to want it. Now, and invariably, that's the woman that the guy is going to want. He's not going to just say, well, I got these 5 other women. I want her. He's going to intrigue him.
No, for sure. I think the thing that I also like that you do as well is and I see this kind of happening a lot, is that the thing you hammer home is men not focusing on other men. And that's huge nowadays. It's so, I see it so much. I was like, and I love that you focus on that topic about men. Like, stop looking over here to the side. Like, focus on you.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And the reason I say that is so many men worry about Chad and all these other guys. And I'm like, for every woman that likes a Chad, there's 3 women that probably like you. Every single man needs to focus on developing his best self. I don't care what his body build is, what his facial features are, what he got going on. Every single man, I don't care who he is, without doing any self-improvement, can probably get 10 women on this planet. It's 4 billion women on this planet. Every man can get something.
Sure.
Most of that I'm really doing is letting the men know how to get more, to increase those odds. So instead of just 10, maybe 30, maybe 40, 50, you just increase the odds, but without doing anything. Because women like different types of men. And see, a man, you get too many men out here who are so focused on what the other man is doing. It's like, no, focus on yourself.
Right.
Focus on yourself. I mean, I've had that happen. You know, I've known some guys who were getting the women, and I was thinking they were doing all that, but then they were getting a little huffy because some woman that they were checking out was checking me out. And
Yeah.
for what? I mean, it is what it is. There's enough around to share.
Can you say that one more time? Just. I think it needs to be put out in the ether. Could you just say that one?
There's enough women out there for everybody to share. We not gonna all get the same ones. And see, here's the beauty of it. If a man is who he's supposed to be, if he's doing the things he's supposed to do, he's on his mission, the women he's going to get are going to be the ones to support that mission. Like, for example, my main thing is writing. And when I first started writing, yeah, there were plenty of women who didn't like it, but then there were plenty of women who did, even helped out. And I still honor the women that helped me out when I first started writing. I mean, and they I don't have any, if I run into them now, I don't have anything against them. I mean, yeah, things didn't work out, but they were still helpful.
Yeah.
And even my co-parent, she's a writer. And even women that I would meet nowadays, when I bother telling them I'm a writer, the ones who are like cool with that, they're like, "Oh, you're a writer? Oh, okay." They're more excited about that than if I get around to telling them I do videos. But see, that's on my mission. See, every man has to focus on himself. Like I always say, a man's main relationship is with himself. So the women that he wants should be women who are supporting that mission, who are in cooperation with his operation. See, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. That's why I say don't worry about it. See, that other man has another mission. Don't worry about what that other man is doing. Every man should just worry about what he is doing. So that's it. That's it. Just focus on yourself. Focus on building yourself. When I talk about body game, your best body, your best look, your style, everything about you. Don't try to compare yourself to the other man. He's on a different mission. That's a different guy. And if he has a bunch of women that like him, hey, more power to him. Because he's probably checking out the woman that's like down for you. So
exactly. Yeah, well, we want what we can't. We want what we can't have. Everybody of what we have gets boring. So naturally, our eyes are going to gravitate to say, "Hey, but we could have steak and lobster every day in my house, and I can afford that." Sooner or later, that person is going to be like, "Ugh, steak and lobster." It's going to become normal. So I just want some pizza. Let me just get the greasiest burger I can find. Right. Yeah. Well, the other person might say, "Man, I would kill to have steak and lobster every day." So it's all, I think it's a beautiful thing. It's all relative. It's all relative.
It is. And, but we got to let that go and just appreciate who we are. Just be the best, whoever you are made to be. Because I'm looking at a lot of stuff now that's happening in the economy. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have to worry about being laid off or anything like that. Because for really, since I was young, I wanted to be in a position to control my life. And I talk about that. I talk about sovereignty.
Sir.
So I kept working on that. Now, yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, but I'm like, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about somebody like giving me like a little pink slip or somebody
Mm-hmm.
laying me off or being furloughed. But I work towards that. Now, other people, when I was doing that, and I did have to work some jobs, they would say, "Oh, you're dreaming, you're doing this," but I stuck with who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole point there is every single man has to look within. He has to look in the mirror and decide what he is going to do. He don't worry about the next man. It's like as long as the next man is not actively interfering with your life,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to worry about him. In fact, just applaud him. If you see what he's doing, the most you worry about that other man, if that other man is doing something similar to what you want to do, learn from him, but don't hate on him. Or
Right.
don't feel bad because you don't look like him. Like whatever. You look like you. Maybe he wants to look like you.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I think one of the things I saw too, I remember seeing this movie a long time with my dad. There was this movie called Michael Jordan to the Max. And I saw it on
Mhm.
IMAX. It came out around 99 or 2000. And I think I remember one scene in there when Michael Jordan was talking. He said, when you look, guy asked him, when you look in the crowd, he said, what do you see? And he says, sometimes I look at a father and a son and they don't even know I'm looking at them. They probably don't even see it. He said, they don't know how much I would do anything to trade everything I have and go back to being them. So it's like you look
Mhm.
at people who maybe have everything monetarily. It's like you never know. They might be looking at you saying, man, dang. You know, that player's looking at you like, man, I wish I had that one woman, right? It's all, you kind of have to get out of this pissing contest of like, you know, everyone's kind of over looking over your shoulder, man. But
Yeah.
it could be a beautiful thing being you and being comfortable in that. But that brings me to my next point with the nice guys and players. You coined the phrase select and non-select. So for the viewers at home, can you expound on that genius phrase right there, please?
Well, being select, that just means in general,
Mm.
women find you attractive. In general, every woman is
Mm.
not going to find you attractive. If you walk into a room full of 100 women, you doing very good if you get 70 of them to check you out, think you're attractive and all of that. It means women are choosing you on a regular basis. Not every single woman, of course, but you're not going to worry about women. You
Mm.
non-select if you having trouble. It's just that simple. If you have to work at it. Now, one of the things I did say, every single man can be select to some woman, but see the non-select man, let's just say they have to work a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be rejected a lot more. They are the quote unquote nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the select guys are the players. But ultimately, a man wants to grow out of both of them to be what I call the real man.
Yes,
You
sir.
want you don't want to be stuck in that select thing. There's been plenty of men, when they're younger, they select, but then they
Mm-hmm.
don't grow.
Yep.
They don't become better. And then, of course, they want that one woman who is everything to them, but that one woman doesn't want them. Every
Mm-hmm.
man has to grow. So it's not the thing in there is not becoming a select man, is becoming the best version of yourself. So whether you are select or non-select, you still want to grow. You still want to become the best version of yourself.
Period. I think it's going to be it's crazy. We're only about 12 minutes in, but I'm just thinking about how many clips I have going off of what you said, man. You almost see like the money kind of adding up. I got a lot of viral clips coming off of this short time, but that is thanks to you. What would you say are some of the defining, and it can be a little bit fluid, but what are the defining characteristics of the select man?
The select man, well, he'll be generally attractive to women.
Mm-hmm.
So he will look good physically to a woman. That's why I talk about body game a lot. So he'll physically look good. He'll have a good bait. He can dress well, look good. I didn't really talk about it as much in the book, but smell good.
There you go. Wash your
Women love
ass.
it. He lets the barber bless him. He
Yep.
he looks good. He has good bait.
Mm-hmm.
women are attracted to that. When women are checking out a man, they look at everything. That's why I'm famous about talking about a man's shoes. Trust me, I've had women tell me they look at the shoes first.
Yeah.
So the select man, he just knows how to draw attention. He has good bait, and then he can talk to the women. See, that's a part. That's a pillar of quote unquote game as well. He can talk to the woman. So he's attractive to the women. He can be around them. And that's the biggest thing. And see, if you talk about attraction, physical attraction, we don't just mean bone structure. It's how the man presents himself. Because women, they're using their eyes, and when they see a man, they are looking him up and down. They looking at every little thing. They looking at things you're not thinking about. They could be looking at your fingernails. They definitely looking at your shoes, the type of shoes you're wearing, the fit of your clothes. You know, they looking at your haircut. They looking to see if you got a beard, whatever they like. Every woman has a preference. And they always, trust me, fellas, any fellas looking at this, they are always looking. Don't think for 1 second they're not. They can be slick about it.
Yes.
But
yes.
They can be real slick.
Yes, sir.
Like, I remember me and a buddy were walking one time and a couple women walked past us, didn't look. I said, okay, give them a few seconds. Then we looked back, we caught them looking.
Yep.
They will use mirrors, shades, and they could walk. They could be a woman could come up to a guy, see him, and she turned on. She got her stomach jumping, and she feeling all this, and a man wouldn't be able to tell. But then when she get around her girlfriend, she'd be like, "Girl, I saw this dude. He was just fine." So, and that's the biggest thing, because see, the attraction that draws the woman to the man. And then all he has to do is talk. That's why I will say that I talk about body game, fixing up, but then also having that conversation with the woman, because usually if a woman approaches a man or she's around a man or she puts herself to be approached, we're not getting into that in a second, but she puts herself to be approached by that man. She already been checking him out. And then talking about that thing about being approached, cold approaches are rare, because a guy might see that woman when he just walks up on her. She saw him for weeks and she put herself in the path of that guy. So it's very rare a man really is cold approaching a woman. See, you get a lot of guys looking for choosing signals, and that does exist. But sometimes a woman might just see that guy, know he walks a certain path, know he's in a certain place, and put herself there, and then put herself in position to be approached by that man. And she'll act innocent and stuff. She'll like, and then when she go back around her girlfriend, she'll be like, "I got him."
Got him. It's almost like a training day. He's like, "You've been planning this all day, so I've been planning it all week."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. Just understand that. But see, just to understand the thing about women, they understand a man's ego. So they want a man who's going to approach, who's going to take charge. But trust me, they always checking out a man. When they walk out the door in the morning, if you do not, but then each woman has her own select and non-select category.
Well, I think that's the thing too, where I've also heard you talk about the tribe thing. Guys being realistic of trying to appeal to every type of woman. That's not really where it's at. You expound a little bit on the tribe.
Well, see, every man, think about it. Every man is going to be he's going to be a certain race. He's going to be a certain social class, maybe a subculture. And he has certain things going on. Like, I know my particular tribe are usually women who are more on the intellectual thing. The sexy librarian type.
There you go.
And I don't mind that. I know that. if I see a woman, that bad and bougie type of woman, or some of those women, to this day, they just keep walking, and I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
See, every man has to really pay attention and see who's really paying attention to him, who is showing some interest in him. That's all that matters. Who is trying to talk to him, who is receptive to him. And it's not going to be every woman, but that man don't need every woman. That man just needs that woman who's going to be in cooperation with his operation.
Yeah.
Because, okay, we wouldn't be having this conversation if I was trying to deal with women who weren't down for writers. We wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't be in this position. But those were the women that I was going to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the women. See, that's your tribe. The tribe, and the tribe, it could be personality, it could be social class, it could be body builds.
Yeah,
that gets real deep.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
One thing I would tell a man is pay attention to don't ignore it. Look at the body type, look how they dress, look at their social class, racial class, general, are they more introverted, more extroverted? Every single man, if every single man does that, he can get somebody. Now, he might not get he might not walk in a room and get 70 out of 100 women. But dude, 3 out of 100 women is still more than average. And really, in my view, that's even better because you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about having to deal with a bunch of women, because that's the one thing a non-select man got. Because then when he gets a woman, that woman probably actually wants him. So that's the thing. So like I said, every man is, as I said in my book, a Mr. Goodbar to somebody.
Yep.
Some men are just Mr. Goodbars to more women. Now, yeah, you prefer to have more of a choice, but it's not always bad, depending on what you're doing, just to have that one woman, as long as she's down for you. And let me hit you on something real quick, because a lot of guys will say, well, she ain't attractive. I've known a lot of attractive women. They like different guys. They like different guys. Don't think they all like the same guy. They like every single attractive woman I've known. You talk to them, they like something different. Once you get into their personality, see, some guys, they hurt themselves. They say, "Oh, she wouldn't like me." You don't know. She might not. You don't know. No,
for sure. Well, that rolls into another thing. It's that imprint theory. We're not in control of who we're attracted to. So you might see a girl who looks a certain way, and they might think, well, she wouldn't be into me. I said, you don't know what that imprint is. You don't know what the men in her family look like. You don't know who her first kiss was. You don't know if a lot of, believe it or not, I remember you said this too, a lot of women who, well, I don't know if I would say a lot, but there are some women who are very beautiful now. They say back in high school, nobody would take me to prom. I'm like, really? And I saw pictures.
Oh, yo, man.
I'm like, oh, wow. So
that's a real thing, because a young lady who I'm cool with, she was just talking about something on IG. Now, everybody who's seen her is like, she is sexy as hell, but she said she was a virgin for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, she is sexy as hell. I mean, she married with a couple kids, but she one of those ones you'd be like, oh, yeah, girl. Yeah. She's just sexy. She just like to be around her. One of those types, but she said she didn't grow up like that. And then I know quite a few swans. And you don't know. And I mean, with the imprint, let me be clear about the imprint. It's not just one man, but it's a combination, psychological combination of 3 men. That's with the woman. But a man has an imprint too. But see, our imprint is more emotional. It's a combination of whether or not that real beautiful woman in our environment liked us or rejected us, how they treated us, and then the first woman we actually slept with.
Wow.
So, and even then, you can still get past that. That's just a natural attraction. You might run into somebody who don't resemble the imprint at all, but because of circumstances, you can get with them. But there's a lot. But getting back to the women, getting back to the swans, you don't know, because I always talk about this one young lady who just got engaged. She was a swan, and she's very attractive. But she told me when she was younger, she was I think bulimic or something like that.
Oh,
So but you see her now, you be like, God damn girl, you make you look good. You be like,
ugh.
and there's a bunch of women like that. Like I said, a good friend of mine, I just saw some clips she had on IG talking about her first time. She said it was 2.2 seconds.
Oof, yeah.
I was like, her? Nah, shit. I might send her a text say, yeah, I saw that. If it was me and you, it'd have been like 2.2 hours or something. She is sexy, but and guys be just going crazy. I mean, guys go crazy over her, but she just said she started off that way. You got quite a few women who just didn't start off that way for whatever reason. A lot of women, there's a lot of women, they aren't that maybe attractive in high school, but then when they get to their late 20s or something, you be like, ah, they
Mhm.
fine. And then the ones who were fine in high school, you'd be like, ugh, stay away
Yeah,
from me.
yeah. You see that. Some people age like wine too. One of the things I'm seeing, I think I see some of the girls who are in college now. So I've met just, like platonically and stuff, just meeting some of the women, like I think maybe in their 40s now. Some I saw pictures of them now, and then it's like, wow, you almost look younger now. So it's almost a weird thing. It can be different for
Mhm.
anyone. My next question for you, would you label yourself as a dating coach?
What?
Would you label yourself as a dating coach?
People call me that.
Hmm.
I would just call myself somebody who has a relationship, who has a philosophy about relationships.
Hmm.
Other people will call me that. I just say, yeah, okay, go
Hmm.
ahead. But ironically, personally, if you really listen to what I'm saying, I'm talking about self-development. I'm
Right.
not really talking a lot about dating
Hmm.
because I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't dated a lot since I was younger. I was just getting to women like that. We come straight back to the place. I might not be the person to ask about
Right,
that.
right, right.
So I would just say I do have more of a philosophy about relationships, but that relationship also includes a relationship with yourself.
Hmm.
That is 100%. That's 100%. You want
Thousand.
you want to have a relationship with yourself, then even when you're dealing with the women, because I've also said, if you have a bunch of friends, it's nothing wrong with having a female friend.
Hmm.
And now some guys go against that. It's like, no, if you can't have sex with them, one, they can introduce you to other women. Two, as Master Teacher BGS would say, they might have a Rolodex. They might be good for business.
There you
I've
go.
had some women friends, just
Hmm.
friends now, and they didn't have sex with them. They put a lot of money in my pocket just by saying, hey, check this out, deal with this, do this
Hmm.
or that.
Yeah.
Because the main thing is, what is the woman doing for you? It's not always about having sex with them. In fact, that's a waste of time. You want to think, what's this woman doing for you business wise? How she putting money in your pocket? How she, or she might not be doing any of that. She might just give you a perspective that you can't get from other women. There's some now. If the woman ain't doing anything for you at all, I don't think you should deal with her. But then that means she ain't even being a good friend to you.
Mm.
She ain't even being a good friend. You don't need to deal with, you don't have time for that. You need to focus on yourself. So that was the thing. It was like, what is you want? Your main thing is, as a man, your mission. And
Mm.
what is this woman doing to help your mission? And it's not always about sex. See, too many guys get too
Yep.
caught up into that. And I'm
Yep.
saying that now, when I was younger, I ain't know any
Mm.
better. But as I got older, I was like, oh, wait a minute. She doing something else. She telling me how I can make some money. She's telling me about some stuff going on here. She's doing this or that. She's somebody I might could just talk to.
Mm-hmm.
What is she bringing? Because your main relationship as a man is still with yourself and trying to grow. You don't need them for everything. Because like when I had my medical emergency a couple years ago, there was some women offering some stuff. In fact, I'm supposed to meet one of them tomorrow just to get some. She's starting to sell some stuff. So I'm supposed to meet with her tomorrow to pick up some stuff. So she was offering. And well, and there's a little complication there. I won't get into it, but she was still cool. You can't get with everybody. You don't need to.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
You
Just because you can doesn't mean that you necessarily should. And it's funny, we see this now exemplified. If you look at the men who have maybe more status, more money, and they're getting all this money, they're throwing us like I hate to bring it up, like Shannon Sharp and stuff like that. It's like you gotta understand. It's like you're thinking, well, I got all this money. And guys, some of those guys they're not ready for that situation. They don't really have that relationship with themselves yet, and it's like they're not ready for it.
No, they don't need that. That's come on now. Come on now. He could do better than that.
That's my whole point.
There's some
That's
women who would deal with him,
Yeah.
him or men like him, just because they want to be with him.
Exactly.
And that's what I would tell any guy. It was like, no, you don't want that, because you do have what I call acculturated prostitutes, what the honorable pimp guy would call acceptable hoes. You got plenty of them out there, but you got plenty of women who will like you for you. And see, every man should be thinking that. It was like, oh, hold up. Because first of all, you can't trust a woman just dealing with her just for money. If she's just dealing with you for money, yeah, like I always joke around when I'm doing my car videos. Yeah, you might take it to that fancy restaurant, that 3-star Michelin star restaurant, and she'll get that big doggy bag and take it to somebody who's sleeping on an air mattress. And now that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Or take you over you take it to a different house. It's like, wait, you ain't pick up from there. And she'd be like, oh, that's my cousin.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's my cousin. It's like, man, no, you don't need to do that. Don't see these guys, they don't feel good about themselves. But see, you want to be that type of man. A woman just want to be in your presence, because not only you just talking with her, but she just feel good around you. You got that masculine energy that she wants to be around. And I mean, maybe you're just a good person. She just wants to be around. It's not just for you just to get sex from
her. Right.
So you got to think, you don't want to be used, because remember, still, once again, I'll say it 1,000 times, your best relationship is for yourself. You don't want to be in that position when you used. And see, you got a lot of guys out here, they're being used.
Yep.
And you don't want to do that. You don't want to get played. You got a lot of women players out here. And that's the thing. Too many guys think, oh yeah, these women ain't do it. I say, nah, I learned a lot of game from women players.
Yep.
I learned a lot of game because they just say, you know what, Rom, you're a good person. We're going to tell you this so you don't get played.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say I really hadn't gotten played, not for money anyway. In fact, I mean, I've had a couple women try, but I'd be asking questions. I'd be like, what you need this money for? Get mad at me and stuff.
Yeah.
One woman got mad at me. I kept asking. I was like, she was asking for a lot of money. I was like, shoot, I want to know. Yeah. I had the money, but shoot, I was like, nah, I ain't giving you any money. She blocked me afterwards.
It happens, but I think it is a beautiful thing of men and women coming together. I think it is interesting. I think it's interesting to hear the different dynamics between different generations. Is always a good thing. And I would also say too, so say I'm a young man, and that's usually kind of who I'm starting off with. Let's say I'm not in that select category, let's say currently right now I'm not select. What are things that are in my control, and you already aforementioned, that can help get me on that side of things?
Well, first thing, when I talk about body game,
Mm-hmm.
despite what you get some guys online trying to say, that's one of the main things women to check out. And that's even on a deeper level. That's the main thing, that the primary thing that turns a woman on or a human being on is a physical body, but it turns on a woman. Because if you think about it, their primary mission, their primary thing, and I'm not trying to annoy any feminist or anybody like that, and I'm not coming from like a conservative background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying this, period. Their main thing is to reproduce a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing they looking at a man head to toe. Can they reproduce him? Even if it's subconscious. So a main thing a man has to do is have that optimal body.
Mm-hmm.
Every single human being, but in this case, men in particular, are born with an optimal body. So whatever his optimal body is, that will turn a woman on. And in fact, you can learn a lot about a woman by what turns her on about a man. Like if a woman is turned on by a man's legs, on a deeper level, she is turned on by a man who is rooted into the earth.
Wow.
If she's turned on by his midsection, because women be looking at that ass too. They be looking at that ass. They be looking at that print. But what does that thing do? It's creative. It stirs their creativity. If they turned on by his like stomach region, that's his power region right there. That's his core. If they turned on by his chest, that's more like a paternal thing, also a protective thing, especially with his arms, his shoulders. He can shoulder responsibility. His back, he got a strong backbone. So it's just like it tells you whatever it is about you that turns on a woman, that tells you what she's looking for. So every woman is turned on by something. Just like when a woman, you get a bunch of women who throw on by it. See, a lot of guys don't realize that, and even when they turned on by a man's face, they can be turned, like a lot of women turned on by a man's eyes. They can be turned on by his hair. That tells you something. Whatever they turned on by. So it's like, and the men are the same way. Like if you see men who are turned on by her breastises, her breasts, they want a woman who kind of nurturing. But if they turn by her butt dunk, that's a creative area. That's around her womb. That's creative. And then a more down to earth woman, turned on by her legs. Just like we turned on by a woman's body, they turned on by a man's body. So one of the first things I would tell any man is body game. Work on that. Just a basic thing. Just a basic thing right there. It's not complicated because that's the main thing. And then when you wearing clothes, see, when a man or a woman wear clothes, they either wear their clothes as a magnet or a shield. They either wearing their clothes, it stops traffic, but she wearing her clothes as a shield to block attention. Like you see some women like that, they'll have a killer body. And I've known some like that. They will have a killer body if you caught them, if they wearing some tighter clothes or something. And then you have some women, they'll make sure whatever their body type is, they make sure everybody knows it. But that's drawing people's attention to them. See, the body is the main thing. That's the key thing. But then there's also personality, it's the mindset, things of that nature. Like with a man, how assertive he is. They look for a man who's assertive. But a woman, she has to be more receptive. How receptive is she to that man? So getting back to talking about what the man needs to do, the man needs to work on his physicality. That's the first thing. Work on his mindset, how he's dealing with women. If he has any fears around sexuality, any fears, regardless, he needs to deal with that. A lot of men have trouble dealing with that. It could be for whatever reason. You know, a common one may be religion, or it could be a bad experience. He needs to work on his sex appeal. So that means first his body, then the type of clothes he wears, then the attitude that he has with women. And this don't mean he walking up to a woman and say, "Hey, girl, you fine," all that. But if he's comfortable, and I meant to do that because I said I still got to check with women. They can tell. I don't know what it is. I every time I think I'm gonna check with them about that, I keep forgetting. I got to remember to do that. How they can tell. They can somehow tell if a man is comfortable with his sexuality. How he moves. I don't know how they do it. Like I said, I check with some women. They can tell.
Yep. So I had to say, man, this to say that this hour flew would be an understatement, man. I got so many clips from this, man. Wow. I wanted to say that I very much appreciate you stopping by and taking time out of your busy schedule. But before you do go, how can the people find you? How can people support your work, find your books, things like that?
I tell you what, just all you have to do is just go to my main YouTube page, Rom Wills, and then in any video, just go to any video, go in the description box. You can find additional information. You can find my Patreon. If you want to bless me with some money, you can find some links there. You can find some links to some on-demand videos that I've done on Vimeo.com. You can find links to Rom TV. I've done some series there, but that's the main thing. Just go to my YouTube page. You can find links to everything else. Go to any of my videos, any of them. I always have in the description box. I have links to everything else, even some collaborations I've done with a few other people. So you can find everything, but definitely check it out. And I just want to say, man, I'm just honored to be here, man. I fixed up everything for you, ready to go, man.
It means the world. No, I appreciate it. Any last thoughts you would like to leave the audience with?
For the men out there, man, look, man, your best relationship is with yourself. Your best relationship is with yourself. Fix yourself up. Don't worry about trying to be like anybody else. Don't worry about just some Chad or Tyrone. Don't worry about Pookie and Ray Ray. Worry about yourself first. That's your main relationship. Worry about the man in the mirror. Fix up the man in the mirror. Be your best version. You work on that. And then the women you deal with need to be women who are going to be in cooperation with your operation. Because if you deal with a woman and she trying to take you in a different direction, she ain't good for you. Deal with a woman who is going to be a part of what you're trying to do. Now, let me be clear. This ain't saying you can't help her, but she need to be helping you. She need to be helping you, and she need to be an asset to you and not a liability. You not if she's the type of woman who's going to hurt whatever you're doing, you don't need her. I don't care how fine she is. Because if you can get that one fine woman, she's a problem, you can get another one. And let me just say that too. Don't be one of these guys out here thinking, "Oh, I can't get it," and then get off that number system. That's good for reference, but just get off that number system. Think about who is down for you
Yep.
Who is trying to help you?
Yep.
Who is helping you to become a better person? Who is helping you just in life? Who is in cooperation with your operation? But even then, no matter what, your main relationship is with yourself. Stick with that. All right. And that's all I got to say.
That's all we got to say. Well, Mr. Wills, appreciate you, your time, and it's been a blessing. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, man.
Catch you.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.